The latest Pompey news, updates every day from the Pompey Sound news desk.
Sporting director Rich Hughes is bigging up Franco Ume, saying, "Me and John watched quite a lot of Franco. He's an unbelievable athlete, has a really nice personality and possesses a good ability for affecting games. That became really apparent when we watched him playing for Palace under-21s, while he found himself on the first-team bench quite a few times as well. He was well regarded at Palace, a real rawness of physical ability and an ability to affect games in the final third through pace, power, athleticism and bits of quality. Franco is going to need time, he's going to need work, but he's one we are really excited about having in the building permanently and working with. He needs to get up to speed. When that happens, he will be around the group, he will be part of it. Like all players, it will be up to him to perform and get in the team or on the bench." Coming from under-21 football into the Championship is a huge leap and completely different in terms of physicality and intensity. But we've had some good experience of players doing that and have learnt as a football club how to better prepare players for that. So we're looking forward to putting that into place for Franco and giving him that platform to show everyone what a good footballer he is.
OK, just to deconstruct what we've got here, it's always good to hear from Rich Hughes. We're more used to hearing from John Messino, and plenty of John Messino. Rich Hughes obviously knows what he's talking about, but it's interesting to wonder why he was delegated to talk about Franco rather than allow it to happen from the perspective of John Messino. I'll come back to that in just a second. I'm afraid I trained as an English teacher way back and it never leaves you. So, Rich, it's not me and John. It's John and I. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. In order to translate what he is saying when he says that Franco is a player who is able to impact the game, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that what he is saying is that Franco is prepared to try and take people on and go past people. And we didn't get much of that against Sheffield Wednesday for a variety of reasons. The Spurs loanee who can do that is injured and may not make it. We don't even know if Josh Murphy is going to make it on Saturday. We know that Callum Lang isn't, and we also know that Connor Chaplin won't be able to play. So Stegacic will presumably move into that central attacking midfield role, meaning that there will be a gap on one of our wings, possibly on two of our wings, if we decide to make some replacements. In which case, they could be softening us all up and helping to steel Franco for the possibility that he will start against Ipswich. If it happens, then you heard it here first. If it doesn't, you heard it here first.
Football League World have assigned writer Benedict Ferraby to assess Pompey's lack of goals. He reports, "Portsmouth's start to the Championship season has been steady but unspectacular, as they work to build on last year's survival campaign. After more than a decade away from the second tier, staying up was the main priority for John Messino's squad. No small feat given Pompey's modest budget compared to their Championship rivals. The team has shown clear signs of progress in most early season matches, though last weekend's 2-0 home loss to struggling Sheffield Wednesday came as a surprise. They've generally been tough to break down, thanks in large part to keeper Nicolas Schmid's excellent form before his recent wrist injury against Southampton. Goals have been harder to come by though. Pompey are joint second lowest scorers in the league with just 4 goals, which is frustrating given their array of attacking talent. Last season they netted 58 times, with Colby Bishop grabbing 11 goals in 32 games after returning from heart surgery, while Josh Murphy tied for the division's most assists with 14. Summer signing Adrian Segetic arrived with strong credentials, having scored 13 goals in his last 24 games for Sydney FC. But Pompey's only wins this season have been narrow 1-0 victories over Oxford and Preston. The team is creating chances, as seen in the recent Southampton derby, but struggling to convert them. Bishop typifies this, having missed 5 big opportunities already this season. There's hope that loan signing Connor Chaplin can provide the spark they need. The hometown hero returns a much more accomplished player than when he left in 2018, having thrived under Kieran McKenna at Ipswich. His 39 goals across 2 promotion-winning seasons show his quality in front of goal. While matching Ipswich's remarkable attacking output would be unrealistic, Chaplin's composure and link-up play with Bishop and Murphy could be exactly what Pompey need to start finding the net more regularly. The pieces are there. Now it's just about making them click.
Yes, young Barnaby sort of hits the nail on the head, doesn't he? I don't think he does very much except state what we already know. I suppose if you're not a Pompey fan, you might find it an interesting piece in as much as it gives you some background to a club that maybe you're playing next week or the week after. We've got Ipswich, we've got Watford coming up. They may be interested in the fact that we haven't been scoring goals. I'm always interested in this notion that there is a clear-cut missed goal-scoring opportunity. Because Colby Bishop doesn't miss clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities, although he was through on goal just one-on-one with the keeper early in the season, which Segecic had to convert into a goal. So that was a clear-cut chance. That was one. The others, the ball arriving behind him, the ball too far in front of him for him to get a toe on it. I don't think they're clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities. And I don't think they should count as them. Largely because it's a matter of opinion. And whereas, the number of goals that a person has scored, it isn't open to dialogue. But the number of chances that a person may or may not have missed, and whether they were clear-cut chances or half chances, remember those? They don't seem to get any coverage anymore. Why? I'll tell you why. Because you can't do a statistic on it. You can't say that Colby Bishop has missed 4 half chances. It's just not a statistic that's done, as far as I know, because it would also mean that you would have to have statistics for half chances that Colby Bishop has converted into goals. And then it gets into the whole area of statistics, which really is the province of sports like baseball and cricket, where statistics can go into all kind of minutiae, and all you need to have with your by your side is a calculator, and you can come up with all sorts of numbers. But football is a very different game from that. And whilst you do get a final score, and that's the end of it, the final score, there's even disputes about who scored goals and whether it was an own goal or it should be credited to so-and-so. So it becomes a grey area in football as soon as you get beyond the final score. And using statistics in the way that, and I'm going to say this, the young generation of football fans, or at least football writers, are very keen to do, is in part because most of them, when they leave, Hull College, where they studied media studies and sports, what have you, look at the possibility of getting an internship with Sky Sports. And what that means, I think, for many of them, is that they're given a tape of a game and they have to sit there for 24 hours adding up the number of passes that individuals make. They don't break that down into whether they're meaningful passes, because if you get a defence-splitting pass, that counts as one pass. If you pass the ball to your adjacent centre-half and he passes it back to you and you pass it back to him again, they count as 3 equally prestigious passes. So they are then aware of the statistics. The youngsters coming out of media studies courses and what have you, they're aware of statistics, and so they want to use statistics to back up an argument which actually can be made just by using your footballing nous.
Continuing our behind-the-scenes look at the backroom boys and the moneybags owners of Pompey's opposition. Today, Ipswich beginning with their manager, Kieran McKenna.
McKenna, just 37, has been a revelation since taking the reins at Portman Road in December 2021, cementing his status as one of the EFL's most promising young managers. The club's turnaround began when Game Changer 20 Limited bought the club for £40 million in 2021, marking the end of Marcus Evans' unpopular reign. The new ownership group, led by American investment fund ORG, manages money for the Arizona Public Safety Personnel Retirement System and owns 90% of Game Changer 20 Limited. The ownership team includes ORG co-founder Edward Schwartz and successful Phoenix Rising FC trio Brett Johnson, Berkey Buckeye, and Mark Detmer. While their exact worth isn't public, Arizona PSPRS Trust's Chief Investment Officer Mark Steed revealed in April 2021 that their fund held $13 billion, with $700 million in cash. The new owners made an immediate impact by clearing Ipswich's £100 million debt. They've backed McKenna in the transfer market and have deep pockets to fuel the club's continued growth. The fans' support has blown us away. It's beyond anything we could have imagined, Schwartz told the East Anglian Daily Times after last season's promotion. Walking through town, You can feel the excitement. This is just the beginning of an incredible journey. Getting out of League One was our biggest hurdle, he added. Now we're focused on building a sustainable club that can compete at the highest level of English football.
A couple of little facts just to tack on there. One, I think McKenna has had a birthday or two perhaps since that piece of research was done, and he's now 39, but still a youngster. And the second piece of information that's worth passing on is to put the wealth of Ipswich's owners into perspective. The company that own Ipswich, or 90% of Ipswich, are worth $13 billion, with $700 million in cash available to them. But at the top of the Premier League, you've got Newcastle, who are out in front, way in front of any other owners in terms of their wealth. But the second wealthiest owners in English football are the combined Glazer family and Sir Jim Radcliffe. And together, those two organisations, individuals, have a net worth together of $20 billion. So Ipswich are right up there with the richest owners in English football, except these are Premier League clubs that are above Ipswich, a handful of them anyway. And Ipswich, who are doing battle with us on Saturday, they are languishing towards the bottom of the Championship. But that's what we're up against in terms of finance on Saturday. A very, very, very wealthy set of owners.